Hi, welcome to my life in sunny Central Texas. And it is sunny today. It's another one of those not a cloud to be seen days. And it's warm. So neighbor down the street. T-shirt and not too long of pants today. Getting the dog outside. I went to pick him up, put him up here next to me. And he had one of those toddler moments. No, I do it. So he wanted petted, but he didn't want picked up. He goes to the other side of my leg and jumps up here next to me. He's a good boy. I'll let him do it himself as long as he can. I was just looking at the KetoCon rebranded Hack Your Health event. I'd like very much to go. I don't know if I will be, but I would like to. Now, I could easily put that ticket money together. Just stop getting everything for everybody all the time. And say, nope, I'm doing something for me this week. That might disappoint people. Now, today is Thursday, so it's 1 week out from my interview with Dave Mack. And if you've never seen some of his interviews, you might be interested, especially if you follow any of the carnivore channels. I'm still going to be me and talk about more than one thing. I mean, everything doesn't have to be carnivore, right? Well, everything I eat does, but you might be able to guess when I'm cooking, right? Steaks, burgers, beef hot dogs. I like that stuff. Barbecue, brisket, tri-tip, eggs. I have to be very careful about the eggs. Something a lot of people don't know about eggs is that there's a 3-digit code in the labeling on the disposable package. It doesn't matter if it's cardboard or a foam package. It is a code for the approximate production date. I say approximate, I don't know how often. What they call battery hens lay. They're given a high production food and spend their lives in very poor conditions just making lots of eggs. And if you don't know it, there's a 3-digit code. It might be at the end of that bit of labeling, but it corresponds to the day of the year. So if you see 001, that's January 1st. If you see 0, let's just pick a number, 37, that's going to be into February. They might be marked with a use by date, and you have no idea how they decide on that. I don't know. But if you open your phone and type in what number day of the year is it, you get what the current date is, and you look for that 3-digit number that's closest to today's date. You might be getting eggs that are a week old. Your store may only have eggs in stock that are 2 weeks old. I don't know. But it makes a huge difference in my digestion if I have eggs that are fresher. The obvious answer to that is to keep chickens, but I don't have a place to put them. Well, I maybe could, but with my family, there's no way it's going to happen. We all like to leave the house at the same time together sometimes. And no one will ever help with that kind of a thing. I would need to have them in a place where shooting coyotes and rabbits and raccoons, I mean, rabbits aren't a problem except that I'd like to eat them. But shooting raccoons and coyotes that want to steal chickens would not be a problem. And someplace where I could set them up so that I would have a timer on their door for right after laying hours, and then they could get out and forage. And helping Mom with her chickens would be as little as, scooping some feed into the feeder occasionally. I know somebody who would help. He would help eat every chicken dinner I could make. Hope that got his face. Puppy dogs are cuter with their faces. Haven't been active long. I did brush my hair, so it's all staying nicely behind me like it should. I think the end might be getting a little darker, because it was looking almost white for a while. To my eyes, it still does. And that's something some of the carnivore fellows have mentioned. People are seeing, some people go through a little system shock when they make the change and notice their hair thinning. And then they panic and go, I don't want to be bald, and stop being carnivore. Okay, don't be bald, whatever. But, you stick with it, and you get scalp health and skin health and all kinds of other health, and eventually your hair looks better. I like my hair to look better. One reason that I might not do Hack Your Health this year would be if I could get in to get my root canal tooth pulled. I only have one, but it bothers me sometimes. just that area will inflame a bit. And it'll be uncomfortable. I think I would like it gone. What puppy? What puppy? You want me to talk to puppy dog and not to little thing in hand? Let's all talk to the puppy dog. Yeah. Oh, he's so pretty. He's so pretty. He's a good looking boy. Yes, he is. I gotta talk to my puppy dog sometimes and not just to the little thing in my hand. Little Bon Chihuahua fur all over my black t-shirt. There we go. I'm still gonna talk to the thing in my hand. Jealous. I'm not in a hurry to go make myself, I call it lunch, but it's breakfast. Springtime in the South. Apparently someone has looked at cicada populations. Texas has a lot of what some people look at and call crickets. And they're not. They're a false cicada. I don't know if that means they're a cicada that looks like a cricket or a other bug that looks like a cricket. But it sounds a bit like a cicada. I don't know. But the cicada prediction map online says that there are two populations in the southeast of this country where they are expected to emerge this year. Okay, whatever. Since my life doesn't revolve around grain production, I'm not worried for myself when it comes to this. I mean, sometimes if you're rolling down the road, you'll see swaths of bugs in the road, or they'll be climbing up walls to get to places where they'll pupate. But I think cicadas pupate in the ground. I'm not positive. Emerge, crawl up something, make a little sack around themselves like a butterfly does, and then come out and go do whatever they do. But when government decisions limit food supplies by deciding that, oh, we've got to have less chickens in the world, someone go cull a few thousand head of chickens and we will blame bird flu for it. Well, people used to cull their own chickens. You just don't eat the ones that die with unexplained deaths. If you don't know if it was a rabid raccoon or something that got into your birds and killed 3 of them, then you just bury those with the rest of the garbage, right? Oh, a lot of people not realize that. If a wild animal kills one of your animals, for the most part, that's an animal that is completely lost. because you might not want whatever is floating around in its system after a fight for its life with whatever wild animal. When the government comes and says these chickens all have to die because we say they have bird flu, you might not have noticed any ill health in your flock, but they're determined for your chickens to die. And then there have been other things going on. But essentially they want to bring meat supplies down as low as they possibly can. Raise the prices. Stop people from eating what actually makes them feel better. I'm kind of surprised they actually haven't pulled the same crap they did with the vaping supplies. I mean, they don't want people to smoke, and I'm with that. I mean, if you smoke, you need to stop. But there were so many I don't know if we would call them black market or irresponsible suppliers of vaping supplies. They were trying to put a stop to that and get people to stop vaping. That they did pretty much the same thing as they did with some of the alcohol available when people were drinking, that they didn't want to have anyone drinking. And it's during the Prohibition. We all know shady shit happened. Sorry, children. But, and they introduced toxins and things to make people sick into the alcohol that they could get their hands on, and re-released it. And they were hoping to get to the people who were consuming the most alcohol and maybe even supplying the alcohol. Well, guess what? We still got alcohol. And we still got people vaping and smoking. And eating meat. Now, with that pattern of behavior, do I trust the government? No, not really. Do I trust the health nuts? Well, some people might call me a health nut, but I'm not trying to do anything to limit anyone else's choices. There are people who do want to limit other people's choices. Them I do not trust. It's getting warm outside, so I'm going to take Doggy inside. As mentioned when I was outside, I am 1 week out from my interview. Been a long time since I've been interviewed for anything. Dave seems like a nice guy. I watch a lot of his interviews. But that shortens the amount of time available. If there's anything anyone would like to comment and say, hey, mention this or do that, or what have you. Mookie, puppy dog. There you go. Took the ball cap off and now my hair is crazy all over the place. In indoor light, it still looks pretty good, but outside the gray shows real bad. Something else, I would dearly love to go to the Hack Your Health, previously known as KetoCon, this year, and I might get away with it. Or something, somebody will realize I'm saving money for something and come up with exactly $300 worth of expense I absolutely have to take care of for them. Happens a lot. Or it'll be a whole lot of $50 expenses. Nana, can you get me this? I really, really need this. I have to have this game. I have to have this accessory for the things I play games on. I think I'll just let somebody know I'm going to do it. Because even just the regular pass will get me to all the meet and greets and the breakout rooms, all that stuff. And at my age, and with arthritis occasionally flaring up, if I eat the wrong thing, for instance, I really don't want to do the volunteering. I've done that before when that was the best way for me to attend an event. But that would be 2 4-hour stints that I wouldn't be doing what I wanted to do. I would be doing what they needed me to do. And I'm getting to the point that I care a lot less about what others need me to do. I gotta take care of myself. Although, there will be funny moments, I'm sure. At least one doctor who was there last year has mentioned the vendor area, which is full of people selling their idea of a appropriate snack. Carnivores don't snack much. And when we do, sometimes it's things from the regular companies. You know, you can get stuff that fits within what you're eating. I do not have a panic attack if the only snack around actually has 1 gram of carbohydrate, because I keep my carbohydrates so low that that little gram isn't gonna throw off my day. For some people it would, because if they plan their meals so tight that an extra gram of something is gonna throw them out of whack, then maybe they shouldn't have that something. Or maybe they should come up with what works better for them. The tighter you are on your carbohydrates, because you're not eating fruit and bread and vegetables, the less you have to worry about it if there's powdered milk added to a retail brand of sausage stick. And that is sometimes the case, because milk or a little dextrose is often thrown in to make it bind better so that it has a more satisfying consistency. It gives it a solidity that makes it easier to handle. And the more solid it is, the less it will be under attack by bacteria and such that might contact the surface of whatever it is. The more dense it is and the more tightly packed. Yeah, and they get this stuff mixed in. And they use these huge meat mixers. And people who make these things at home can actually get a smaller version. But it would be nice to have one. But that is not of as much concern to me. What concerns me is that the big producers and even the modest producers, they have an idea what they're doing. And that tiny bit of dextrose or that tiny bit of powdered milk improves the bind so that the meat doesn't have huge air bubbles in it, where any pathogen in that air that is in that air bubble can begin causing bad conditions inside the meat. And that affects everybody who might buy meat sticks for their kids or for their own consumption or to sell in their store. A lot of people have no idea why certain things go into various foods. It's a meat stick. Why is there powdered milk? That's why. That is why. In some cases, it's to improve the bind. Some people like to improve the flavor. If they make a small batch, they might go, this is far saltier than we meant it to be. We need to balance the flavor. That might be when you put dextrose in instead of milk, the powdered milk. Might balance that salt a little bit, you know. What up, puppy dog? You can be up here, I don't mind. Okay, I had my workout last night. And my channel claims that file uploaded okay. But I was exhausted. So going workout on Monday, gym on Tuesday, workout on Wednesday, that was a bit much. But my BMI is currently at 33.1. A tiny little bit more weight loss, and I will merely be overweight. And then my waist to height ratio was like 0.7. And my utter exhaustion is probably at 0.9. I could just sit here and fall asleep. It's that bad. I could go back there and I just finished straightening up the grounding sheet and the blanket. I could just lay down on top of all of that, go back to sleep. I'm that tired. But it is almost time for me to eat something. I say time too, but I don't really keep that tight a schedule on my eating. So in theory, intermittent fasting, noon to 8 p.m. In reality, at least 2 evenings, I'm not even in the house in that last hour. Because I don't just have my class, I have driving time to my class and away from my class. And I don't always want my food at noon either. I mean, it is at just after 11:30 a.m. And some calories will get me through the afternoon, but that doesn't necessarily mean I want them right now. And I'll still be making dinner for myself and Loki later. And I think my eyes are still showing a little bit of inflammation. A little puffy. Might just be still getting the irritant out of my system from the allergen exposure. That's okay. What is showing? Okay. I know what that is. I'm like, what's that silver looking thing behind me? Mischief. Hi, puppy dog. What's up? I do not hear any package fairies outside. I'm sure somebody somewhere will hate that phrase. But you never know if it's going to be young men or young women leaving packages when you've ordered something. We get a little bit of everybody. They pull up, they put whatever it is outside the front door. Some of them knock. If the dog hears them on the steps, or approaching the steps, or putting the packages down, he goes haywire. That's what little dogs are supposed to do, right? It's his job to alert and tell everybody that something's out there. Or maybe he just listens for the dog across the street to do it. And then he joins in. I have no clue. But dogs are good dogs. Just ask them. They're doing what they perceive to be their duty. Right now, apparently that is kicking my notes to try to get belly rub. Gotta have them scratches. Scratchy, scratchy. Hey, are you gonna even be kind of present for this? Okay. Belly rub achieved. But let's see. Oh yeah, it's brain day. I'm probably going to be on World of Warcraft this afternoon. And I'm still running around with a guild charter trying to get some signees. I didn't already have people gathered up and say to them, hey, let's do this. So most time people just ignore, hey, I'm making a kind of a support group of a guild. We need to be social outside of the comment section. And I'm a big one for telling people, hey, you're doing great. You're off to a good start. Honestly, you're fine. And come back in the comments occasionally and tell us how you're doing. They need to know somebody cares. Especially if they're seeing the most progress they've ever seen doing anything, and it's kind of scary because it goes against everything they've been told all their life. And they feel like it's going to suddenly turn around and blow up in their face. No, it's not. It really isn't. Me having a TIA had nothing to do with me eating my meat. Might have something to do with 55 years of eating everything I shouldn't have eaten. I've said it before, I went my whole life feeling like I had swallowed a brick after meals and thinking that was normal. No. It's kind of like my sister growing up hurling after meals. If there was anyone around, making her drink her milk because milk is healthy. And then finding out she's allergic to milk. All its derivatives, every form, it doesn't matter how. For a long while, she was able to continue having some cheese. Because that changes the nature of everything that's in the milk. But now she can't even have that. And she feels better. That's one of those things. When you feel better, it's because something right is happening in your body. If you feel better, being a little healthier, then be healthier. And if one group of people is not happy for you, then find the ones that are. I have friends who are vegans and vegetarians. I don't try to proselytize the carnivore diet to them. I'm not trying to bring them in. Would I like it if they go, hey, I don't feel right, and they make the change to eating something that makes them feel better? Yeah, that's fine. But if someone is eating a vegetarian diet, they're at least trying to feel better. I have a vegetarian diet. I eat lots of vegetarians. Cows are considered vegetarians, and chickens are often fed a vegetarian diet. Elk and deer, I haven't had elk in ages, but I like them. I would probably eat moose. I eat duck. Ducks are not vegetarian. in a natural setting, chickens are not even vegetarian. But people who want to think of them that way do. So, yeah, I eat vegetarians. That is probably a shirt somewhere. I saw a shirt on someone recently. It was like, my food ate your lunch. And it just had a silhouette picture of a cow grazing. I like things like that. I like things like this. Shirts are a place to have fun. I'm looking across the room at a picture of my little sister. Would she still be with us if Professor Seyfried's metabolic approach to cancer research and cancer treatment was bigger? I don't know. But she used to rage at me about Atkins diet. Oh my gosh, you're going to... Yeah, she's on the colon cancer side of that. How do you go to the bathroom? Quite well, actually. One more person who didn't have it within her to acknowledge that I was feeling better and looking better. Not unless I was going to do it her way. I'm the one that's still here. There's the father-in-law, and he's gone too. And mom. And mom's older sister. I don't have a picture of her in here. Somewhere I've got a nice picture of Grandma Helen. I need to track that down and get it reframed or something. I wonder if I have enough contact cement. I'm just looking around the room and I see something, and that's part of something that needs repaired. Do I have enough contact cement to do it? And the clamps. Because if you're going to contact cement something, then you also need to clamp it into place and let it cure. It's just the edge trim. We've got a double level countertop, and the lower level has the sink and the major workspaces, And then there's a slightly higher bar level. And the edge trim on the sink side of that upper part is off. Kitchen's being full of moisture and things getting leaned on or whatever. It's just the facing trim came off. It would be nice to either put it back on or replace it with something I like better. I think I'm about done talking. I gotta do something so that I have some energy. I don't feel hungry, but I gotta burn something. And it's not even burn, it's just utilize the available energy in mass quantities. I need to ingest what I will metabolize. I'm really trying to get away from the word calorie because it's inaccurate. You could eat 50 calories worth of something and only absorb 40 just because bioavailability of everything is not steady and standard and perfect. You can ingest 1,400 calories worth of something and really only get about 1,000. Some of it might just go right through. Some of it may be blocked by things that prevent the bioavailability of whatever. And there are many things people use that reduce the bioavailability of whatever. And some things just have really piss poor, sorry children, bioavailability anyway. If you take a multivitamin derived from plant material and what was I thinking of? There's an overwhelming, there's a word for all the stuff that comes out of the ground fuel-wise. Petrochemicals, there we go. If you take a multivitamin and is partly derived from or developed in a substrate of petrochemicals, the bioavailability is not going to be perfect. You're not going to get all of what's in it. Much of it will go straight through. But, you know what? I'm getting my vitamin C. I'm not taking a petrochemical derived version in a capsule or a pill. I'm getting a very, very tiny amount, which is all I really need, because I'm not eating all those other things that I don't need. if I got up and got out the door and took myself to go fill up on donuts, or went to some place that serves a lot of pancakes and waffles, I might still be eating bacon and eggs, but they would be seen or served as a side to the pancakes and waffles, often the case. And then I would really need a massive big dose of vitamin C, because some of those foods block the nutrients, or block the uptake of the nutrients from other foods. A lot of people look at the macros and make assumptions about what else is available from that particular food. They see meat and they think, oh, that's just protein and fat. No, it isn't. Meats also bring your folate, your carnitine, magnesium sometimes. There's a lot of things in there. And meat does not block you from, or does not interfere with your uptake of the essential fatty acids that, if you try to get them from vegetable oils, you might get one or two of the essentials, but you won't get all of them. You will get them from meat. Meat with the associated fat. Speaking of meat, I think my dog is broken. I was getting some finely diced beef and frying it in with the bacon yesterday, because I was cooking for Loki, and I knew that once I had a plateful and sat down that I would eat. I gave one of these tiny little pieces of raw beef to the dog. He looked at it and he looked at me, and it's like he has not had enough raw beef in his life. So I ate one. It's not my favorite. But I was trying to show him it's food. I think he did finally eat it, but I don't think he's convinced. I'll have to try again soon. Now, I'm not switching to raw. I have gone from medium to medium rare to rare on my steak if I'm getting it outside the house. For one thing, if they're using an oiled plancha to cook it on, it'll be on it less long. But I'll still have that cooked flavor. Oh well. I have my notes. I will look back through them. And at some point I need to follow the link Dave gave me and do a sound check, video check. I may or may not want to use my headset. It's got an integrated mic, and it works with my phone, so I might wind up doing that. Hey, puppy dog, come on up. Now to sit up a little bit and stop slouching so much. Because I'm very short and slouch tends to be... I could sit with the back of my legs all the way against the couch. And the back of my hips is not all the way against the back couch cushion. And we had some throw pillows in here for the longest time. We were not able to get the couch and love seat in a matching color. So Loki started looking at the available covers. And those weren't available both in the same color either. I mean, there was one of one color and one of the other color, and or a stack of the other color that fit the other one, or whatever. I'm like, well, it's obvious. You get this color for this one, you get that color for that one, and you get the throw pillows. And you put the throw pillows that are an exact match for this color on that love seat, and you put the throw pillows that match that love seat over on the couch. I think they have all gone by the wayside. The cover for this one is in that laundry basket. The cover for that one is half off and been scratched a lot by the cat. But I should eat something and I should get on with my day. Get logged in to World of Warcraft. And see if I can finally, maybe, get some charter signees. I think we need to do that. I think there needs to be not so much support group, but social group. I mean, let's face it, we're not spending lots of time cutting up vegetables. And shopping is so much faster when I'm not reading the label on everything I pick up. I pick up and it's meat. And, hey, this looks nice, I'll get it. I pick something up and it's not meat, I put it back. I might actually be getting something for other members of the house occasionally. And I'll just get them what they want. We all eat eggs. And bacon, and sometimes sausage. Some brands of sausage I don't touch, but mostly it's okay. Some of it's okay. I just have to be careful. I'm still rubbing my eyes a lot. I walk around all day feeling like there's something in my eye, but the tissue is soft and flexible, moves easily, and I don't feel anything under it, which I would if there was a speck of sand or something. The washer is spinning. I hope it's not being picked up by my sound. Yep. Y'all have a good day. Grandma loves you and wants you to be safe and healthy. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.